Over the weekend, Princess Catherine of Wales, better known as Kate Middleton, sat in front of a camera and revealed she had cancer.
We hope that you'll understand that as a family, we now need some time, space, and privacy while I complete my treatment.
On X, formerly known as Twitter, the company's chief executive, Linda Yaccarino, wrote, "A brave message delivered by Princess Kate with her signature grace. Her request for privacy to protect her children and allow her to move forward without endless speculation seems like a reasonable request to respect." That's nice, isn't it? But when I search X, Yaccarino's platform, for the hashtag Where's Kate, here's what I find. More than 1.6 million posts, starting with these.
Ain't nobody even know she was sick. We don't know she don't talk to us. We don't know where she at. Let's chit-chat.
Unless you're asking me to believe that this woman was so debilitated she couldn't produce proof of life, but now she can be walking around a farmer's market?
Here's one thing, though. Louis was photoshopped into this picture, and I will tell you why.
Over at TikTok, here's what the Chinese-owned app said in a recent statement. Our recommendation algorithm doesn't take sides and has rigorous measures in place to prevent manipulation. The content people see on TikTok is generated by our community, and recommendations are based on the content people have previously engaged with. TikTok does not promote one side of an issue over another. But when I search TikTok, I see 48.7 million people have viewed videos tagged hashtag Where's Kate, and when I click through, this is what I'm served first.
Kate Middleton video is fake, and I've got proof to show you guys. This is actually AI and not
You know what
Kate.
AI is really bad at? Teeth. Kate's teeth keep jumping around this video just like Brittany. She's got little chiclets here, and here her teeth move again. Oops, her teeth are full of holes again, and back to good teeth. It's not Kate.
Exactly. Where is her loving, caring husband right now? Why wasn't he sitting right next to her holding her hand? I'll tell you what I think. I don't think she's there.
On Instagram, owned by Meta, below the Prince and Princess of Wales' own post, there were thousands of supportive comments, and a few like this. Catherine is a narcissistic person and only cares about her appearance. It is karma and a scourge from God. And on Facebook, also owned by Meta, the search term Kate returns lots of beautiful videos and comments offering support, and then, after less than a minute of swiping, I'm served a video of an enraged Prince William on a push bike in the countryside, pointing his finger at a photographer who's capturing the whole exchange on video.
How dare you behave like you've done my children? How dare you?
I have not
You're
done anything.
stalking around here looking for us and our children. I went for a quiet bike ride with my children on Saturday, and you won't even give me your name. You're outrageous, you're disgusting, you really are.
The exchange ends with William calling security and saying, "I thought you guys had learned by now."
What you guys had learned by now.
By you guys, he means the paparazzi. That's the point. 37 years ago, the death of Princess Diana fundamentally changed how the legacy media deal with the royals. Diana's death, chased into a Paris tunnel by paparazzi on motorbikes, was a direct result of the British press creating a white-hot market for images and footage of Diana. If the papers didn't buy the shots, the hundreds of paps whose income was derived from stalking Diana would have moved on to another target.
So he's really able to do that.
Okay.
Thank you. That's enough.
Okay.
Thank you.
Can we have a nice picture, please?
Oh, I'm getting lost.
S'il vous plaît, monsieur.
Thank you.
Back then, the paps argued Diana was sometimes a willing participant, back-channeling information about her whereabouts and staging showpiece moments for their cameras. But neither she nor the royals consented to the gross invasions of privacy that flowered, blagging, hacking, paying friends for information. Prince Harry is still consumed by rage about this and is pursuing his revenge through the British courts. In 1998, the UK's Press Complaints Commission overhauled its Editor's Code of Conduct, including banning the publication of any material derived from persistent pursuit by photographers, harassment and long-lens photography into places that could reasonably be considered private. There were even stricter rules about the privacy of children, aimed at protecting the young princes. Deep in shock at what they'd created, the British press effectively demonetised the hunt. That's why you don't see pap shots of Kate, William and their kids on Saturday bike rides in the papers or on the TV. Now, the hunt has been remonetised by Facebook, TikTok, Instagram and Twitter, where content creators build their audiences and their income with outlandish and fabricated nonsense. There's no incentive to be reasonable if your object is virality. All these platforms say they don't manipulate the algorithm to serve conspiracy content. The algorithm just serves audiences more of what they like. In other words, they've lost control of their own creation, just like the papers and the paps back in 1997. Coming up after the break, why Kate's illness is a huge moment for Britain's constitutional monarchy. The Australian subscribers were the first to know about this story, and we break news around the clock with alerts direct to your phone, newsletters and all the nation's best analysis and commentary, from true crime to business and sport. Join our subscribers at theaustralian.com.au, and we'll be back after this break. In a detailed piece of reporting live on theaustralian.com.au today, the UK Times' royal editor, Roy Anika, reveals that when both Charles and Catherine were in the London clinic, recuperating from surgery in January, the elderly king regularly toddled down the corridor to visit his beloved daughter-in-law. They're both battling cancer and both at the apex of Britain's system of government, a constitutional monarchy. And because Prince Charles has spent the past decade determinedly slimming down the monarchy so that all the second cousins and aunts and uncles are no longer working royals, the monarchy is looking rather frail. Richard Ferguson is the Australian's Chief of Staff.
The strain of the monarchy's work has really rested on Queen Camilla and Prince William ever since both the King and the Princess of Wales got sick, Claire. But now with the announcement that Catherine has cancer and is about to start preventative chemotherapy means that William is now essentially going to be taking more time out as well to support her. So the strain really falls on Queen Camilla, the queen who was never supposed to be. You've got Princess Anne, who's obviously very capable. You've got Edward, the Duke of Edinburgh, and his wife Sophie. And then, everybody's either too young, too disgraced in the terms of Andrew, too American in terms of Harry and Meghan, or you're starting to get into kind of Princess Michael territory, really. It's a pretty thin monarchy.
Richard, a few episodes ago in the front, you and I spoke about Catherine's Photoshop fail, where she released a poorly edited photo of herself and her children. What do you think this moment does to both her personal standing and the standing of the monarchy?
We came to agreement last time, Claire, that she was indeed more popular now because she kind of took responsibility of that Photoshop fail. But now she's going to be stratospheric because she is, to use a rather chauvinistic analogy, the damsel in distress, the princess trapped in the tower. She's the princess in need. And God willing, she comes through the other side of this. It will be a remarkable story of perseverance and survival. And you don't really want to think about the alternative. But you have to say that the palace still has made a hash of it every way through. We can't deny that that's happened. That's not their fault. That's the palace's fault. For example, if they knew that she had cancer and they made her take the fall for the Photoshop fail, that quite frankly makes the palace's PR team look even worse. But she's basically gone from universally adored to St. Catherine.
And what does this moment tell us about the royal family's future in Britain's constitutional system?
If Charles, God forbid, were to die by the end of the year, he would be one of the shortest serving monarchs in the entire history of Britain since the Norman conquest of 1066. That's William the Conqueror to Elizabeth II. He would just be beating Edward, the Prince in the Tower, who may or may have not been murdered by Richard III. He would be beating Lady Jane Grey, the 9 Days Queen, in between the son of Henry VIII and Mary, the eldest daughter of Henry VIII. And then he would be beating, if he made it to the very end of the year, Richard III himself, who's either the great Shakespearean villain or the much hard done by decent king before the Tudors came in, according to some historical revisionists these days. So that is a pretty extraordinary point to be at. And then he would be succeeded by a man with 3 young children and a very sick wife in William. So you have this problem where the crown's in a very bad state, but on the other side of the constitutional coin in Britain, the government's in a very bad state. The Tories are on their 3rd Prime Minister this term. They're on their 5th Prime Minister since they came to power. The economy's a bad way, and now there are plots to get rid of Rishi Sunak as well, and he might not even make it to the election, which is expected in about October. Some of the polls suggest the government's so unpopular that it could go from Boris Johnson's landslide win of 360 or so seats to as little as 28, 25 seats in Parliament. So it's a very difficult time in Britain, perhaps the most difficult since the 1930s and the abdication of Edward VIII in terms of Britain's constitutional position.
Richard Ferguson is the Australian's National Chief of Staff. Thanks for joining us on The Front. We've got a big week in federal politics coming up, and you can find all the scoops 24/7 by joining our subscribers at theaustralian.com.au.